Sometimes the future can be told and the truth can sound stranger than fiction. Well, today I'm gonna share a short story that has a tragic, but I bet it's not tragic in the way you think it's gonna be. I said, let's just get right into it. The year was 1918. During World War I, British soldier Henry Tandy found himself stationed inside of a trench in northern France. By that time, Henry was already considered a war hero and had become the most decorated British soldier in World War I. But his awards are not what he is known for. On September 28th, after a long day of fighting, Henry was propped up on the edge of his trench, looking out towards German lines. It was dark, it was quiet, and there was a mist in the air. Henry noticed a figure way off in the distance walking towards him. Henry instinctively raised his rifle but kept his finger off the trigger. He wanted to make sure if he dropped this guy, it was in fact an enemy. Oftentimes soldiers get killed with something called friendly fire. Another way of saying, I shot the wrong guy. Henry waited patiently, not moving a muscle, staring at the sky, waiting to figure out which side this soldier fought for. Lo and behold, this confused and wounded soldier was the enemy. But he wasn't carrying a weapon and didn't appear to understand that he was walking into the crosshairs of Henry's rifle. Henry aimed right at the German's heart, but he didn't pull the trigger, and the man just continued to walk 30 meters away, at which point he stopped and looked up and realized his grave mistake. But instead of trying to run away, this soldier just stood there, stared at Henry, and seemed to accept his fate of dying. Now, Henry had shot many men during the war so far, but he just could not bring himself to shoot this unarmed, wounded German who just looked kind of pathetic. And so with Henri's gun still up, he glanced to his left and he glanced to his right. Then he lowered his gun, and Henry and the German just stared at each other until the German man just nodded and whispered, "Thank you." He then turned around and wandered back into the mist out of sight. The tragedy of this story, the man Henry had just saved the life of, was Adolf Hitler. Now, I bet you never saw that twist coming. This story always makes me so upset and sends a shiver down my spine. But now all 1,759 of you amazing subscribers, hit that like button, comment, let me know who wants to be commenter-in-chief. And if you're new here, remember, always chew your Twinkies, subscribe. I'm AG, and I'm out.